All right, welcome back, fellow scientists. So, are you ready for it? Today we make the turn. We've spent the first couple of videos talking about the process of photosynthesis in Chapter 8. So today we're going to make the turn and start talking about Chapter 9 and talk about cellular respiration. Right? So don't worry, we'll get into mitochondria, we'll get into 3 steps of cellular respiration, but before we do all that, we need to talk about the life equation and we need to talk about our lab that we're going to be doing on Thursday. So I'm going to grab a blank piece of notebook paper. Well, I'm going to make a blank screen on my notebook here in class actually. So you grab a blank piece of notebook paper, and if memory serves, people asked me to use blue for the next video. So go ahead and write down Chapter 9, Cellular Respiration. Cellular respiration. All right, so here is the life equation for cellular respiration. Life equation. So we're going to start with sugar this time. Photosynthesis, we ended with sugar. Cellular respiration, we're going to start with it. So that's C6H12O6 plus, obviously, it's respiration. Whenever I say respiration, people think breathing, right? So we're going to need oxygen in there somewhere. So photosynthesis, oxygen was a product. Cellular respiration, oxygen is a reactant. So sugar in the presence of oxygen will actually literally burn. So then we get from that burning, this is a combustion reaction, from that combustion reaction we get 6 CO2, that's a waste product, plus 6 H2O, excuse me, that's a waste product also, but it's a useful waste product, kind of like oxygen was in photosynthesis. Later on in other parts of the plant, it's useful, plus energy. Plus energy. All right, and this is the main goal. This is the main product right here, is energy. Now, in photosynthesis, the energy was, help me out. Yep, good, sunlight, okay. So in cellular respiration, energy is not sunlight, but energy is our battery, ATP, right? So we need lots, our cells need lots of full batteries to do everything that cells need to do to keep us alive. All right, now I know what you're thinking, Mr. Leo, this is the exact opposite of photosynthesis. Well, in the equation, yeah, it kind of looks like it, right? And that makes it useful for, that makes it really easy rather to memorize it, right? It's just the backwards version. We just start with sugar, whereas photosynthesis, we ended with sugar. But the processes are totally different. They happen in 2 totally separate organelles, and if you take AP biology and we go through all of the intermediates, you'll see that yeah, the equations look very, very similar. They look backwards of each other, but the actual process is not the same. Okay, so cellular respiration is all about ATP, is all about energy. Oh, by the way, little side note, we talked about autotrophs and heterotrophs, right? Let's see, where is that page? Yep, there it is. We talked about autotrophs and heterotrophs. So autotroph makes its own food, so that is something that does photosynthesis. Heterotroph doesn't. It gets food from, it has to eat another organism. It gets food from something that it eats. It doesn't make it on its own. So one little point here is that heterotrophs only do cellular respiration. Right, so up until now we've only been talking about autotrophs. But as we talk about cellular respiration, keep in mind that plants, autotrophs, do cellular respiration also. Autotrophs do photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Heterotrophs just do cellular respiration. So the autotrophs, you may remember, right, life equation. Let me get out of the way here really quickly. Okay, perfect, life equation. So we make sugar, right? But that's only made in the green parts of the plant. That's only made in like the leaves or some stems, or different things like that. So what does the plant then do with this sugar? Well, some of it, a very small portion of it, goes into the mitochondria of that same cell. But most of it, right, goes into a tissue called the phloem. You can remember this, food flows down, right? And it goes down into the trunk and down into the roots because the cells down there, even though they're plant cells, they don't do photosynthesis and they need sugar, right? So plants, autotrophs, do cellular respiration and photosynthesis. Heterotrophs just do cellular respiration. So really, when we talk about cellular respiration, we're talking about all of life. Okay, so as we talk about cellular respiration, this energy right here, this is the main goal. All right, so we need to look at how we measure energy. Let me get my notes so I can make sure to spell things right. So we're gonna kind of preview our lab that we're gonna do on Thursday. So go ahead and write down energy in food. Energy in food. Okay, sweet. So how do we measure the energy contained in food? Guarantee you, every one of you have heard this word before. You may not have made the connection between this word and energy. You kind of think of it as a bad thing, right? But that's okay. We'll kind of change that view. So energy in food is measured in calories. Measured in calories. Mr. Leo, what is a calorie? Good question. One calorie equals the amount of energy needed to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. So the amount of energy needed to raise the temperature, I'm just going to abbreviate it, the temperature of 1 gram, or we remember from our volume lab all the way back in chapter 1, right? 1 gram of pure water is the same as 1 milliliter of pure water, right? So the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. By 1 degrees Celsius. All right, now here's something that'll rock your world. These calories right here, the little c calories, are not actually the calories listed on the nutrition facts on your food. The calories listed on your nutrition facts, if you pay very careful attention, they're actually big C calories, right? It's a capital C. It may seem like a small difference, but it's actually not, because 1 big C calorie actually equals 1,000 little c calories, or we could say 1 kilocalorie, right? Remember our metric prefixes, the kilo means 1,000, right? But that's okay, because if they say that you should be on like a, I don't know, 3,000 calorie diet, or 4,000 if you're Michael Phelps competing in the Olympics or something like that, they're already taking this into account. So whenever normal people in everyday talk, you know, like Weight Watchers, I'm counting calories, different things like that, they're talking about these big C calories. So they're already taking into account the fact that they're talking about 1,000 little c calories. All right, sweet. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to kind of rearrange things and move the video around because I want to preview the lab for you that we're going to be doing on Thursday. All right, here we go. So the goal is to preview the lab that we're going to do on Thursday. Remember, last week I told you that we're going to have like a little class party on Thursday, and people are going to bring in food, and you're going to eat the food and burn the food in your cells. But we're also going to burn the food like outside, like actually literally set it on fire. So here is the basic process that you're going to go through. You're going to have this folded aluminum paper, and you're going to have a little piece of cork wrapped in aluminum with a bent paper clip on it, and you're going to bring in a food sample. I have here a flaming hot Cheeto that has been left over for like 3 or 4 years from other students that brought it in, so that's what I'm going to use. So you're going to take this whole entire thing and you're going to bring it over to an electronic balance that we have in class, and you're going to get the mass of this whole entire thing, right? So then what you're going to do is you are going to take, I'm going to have a whole intact soda can right there. You can see it's been used previously, and you're going to take 100 milliliters of water, right? And you are going to pour the 100 milliliters of water into the soda can very carefully, like such, right? Set that off to the side. Then you are going to take the temperature, right, of that water. That's your initial temperature. So that should be around 21 degrees. That's typical room temperature, something like that. Then what we're going to do, everyone's favorite part, we're going to take matches and light the Cheeto on fire. It helps to, to get it going. You want a good burn on your Cheeto, right? Feel the burn. All right, so set this in a safe place, right, on the tin foil, and then you're going to have another can which has a little cutout in it in the bottom. So very carefully, without burning yourself, you're going to put that can over that's our little combustion chamber over the fire. And then you're going to set the can that you put water in on top of it, and then you're just going to wait. You're going to munch, you're going to, eat, you're going to drink soda, you're going to converse with friends, blah, 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 blah. Always keep an eye on that. Make sure that it's not falling over or that, you don't start the school on fire or something like that. But you're going to wait until it's totally done burning, right? And then very carefully, ever so carefully, because this is going to be hot, right? You're going to take this can off, and then ever so carefully, whew, that is hot. You're going to very quickly, I should have gloves. Move that. You will have gloves when you do this. But so then what you're going to do is you're going to take this, and it's okay if it doesn't burn all the way. It should burn, for at least like 2 or 3 minutes. But if it doesn't burn all the way like this, that's totally fine. Then you're going to take this over to the scale, and you're going to take what's called the ash weight, or the mass after you're done burning it, right? You're going to put all that on the data table, and then I'll talk about how to do the calculations and stuff like that when we have class on Friday. So anyways, this has been Mr. Leo. This is an introduction into cellular respiration with the life equation and talking about calories, and then previewing our calorimetry lab that we are going to do on Thursday. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side.